How you doing? My name's Dave, and here's a Kerbal Space Program version 1.0.830, I think, something like that. I haven't posted a video in a long time, all year, I think. The last one I put up, I think, was in December. It's been a long time. I was started to have that modded one that I was doing, the career, but they kept kind of kicking out updates and doing different changes and stuff like that, and holidays and kids and work and stuff around the house, all that stuff just kind of eats up a lot of time. So didn't have much time to play or play and record. But they just released version 1.0 on Monday. Right now it's Tuesday, kind of in the evening, and I just wanted to do a quick kind of overview of what changes they've made to the game. They made quite a few very significant changes for the 1.0. Now, just a heads up, I am running my cloud mod. It just looks so much prettier. I'm so used to it. The planet looks amazing, but the clouds, you just can't beat that. So I have modded it. Unfortunately, they weren't able to put clouds in, but the developer squad is going to keep working on it, keep kicking out updates and different things for quite a while. I'm guessing they've been making quite a bit of money on this game, beyond what they had envisioned, and so they'll probably be kind of like Mojang or 4J, with Minecraft, just continuously developing it, tweaking it until interest wanes and they move on to something else. So I'll just get started. One of the first additions you can see right here, they added female Kerbals. This is Valentina. She's one of the starting Kerbals. So she joins Jeb, Bill, and Bob as your starting crew. This is just kind of like a highlight video or something, then I'm just going to keep it sandbox so I can go through all the parts and a lot of the different changes that they have. If I can, I'll start a career mode and see if I can get into posting some videos up and work through the career. Further updates, because this is the 1.0 version, are likely not to break save games. It's basically just be an update to the game. So I shouldn't have to start all over because they dramatically changed something. I always like the retro flag. So, and why didn't that type anything? Hit the keyboard, nothing happened. So you have your difficulty options. Still, it starts off normal. So auto hire, indestructible, all the basic stuff. You can customize that. Re-entry heating is new to this version of the game. Resource abundance is also new. You can eventually, in the late game on the career, go and search out resources, and I'll show some of the parts with that, kind of how that works. So I'll just accept that, and we'll start a new sandbox just to kind of highlight some of the changes that they've made. They did a really thorough rebalancing pass on the contract system. So contracts are, I can't open it now because it's sandbox, are supposed to be a little bit more, in line with the way you do things. Plus you have like records. So if you set a distance record or an altitude record, you'll constantly be rewarded for those, and you don't even have to select those. It just rewards you when you do them. So certain contracts, even if you don't do them, if you get milestone type stuff, you're still rewarded. The rewards have increased. So the funds, because everything was so overpriced to upgrade, you get a lot bigger reward. I might go into the career just to showcase the tech tree. They rebalanced the tech tree. You can see the whole tree now and unlock the nodes instead of being in the dark about how you want your space program to advance, what things you want to research. It's no longer just guessing or looking at a picture to see, you know, what's next. You would just be able to see the next thing that was unlockable when you selected a node. Let's see, they redid the strategies. The administration, some of them were a little bit overpowered, so they did kind of a balance pass on those. And then they totally and completely revamped the aerodynamic model. The atmosphere is no longer what a lot of people on the forum were calling the suposphere, where the air was thick, you know, all the way up until you were out of the atmosphere. The air is significantly denser, closer to the surface, and thins out as you go. Parts now have realistic drag that's not based on mass. I don't know if I don't think I have a real full understanding of that. It's just that things will drag your rocket down, and no longer can you do the launch straight up till 10,000 meters and then do a 45 turn and then go until you hit your apoapsis above 70 and then burn until you get orbit. Now it's a lot more kind of natural. The air actually will put forces against your rocket and cause it to spin out if you're not steering it right. So let's go into the VAB and I can show you some of the new parts that they have, as far as they've done a kind of they've adjusted every part for the most part, as far as weight and heat tolerance and just all kinds of things. But it's still, you have the standard VAB. Fuel tanks. This holding tank is for ore. You can see that it says ore 1500. That's how much ore it'll hold. That's part of the resource system. Let's see, is there anything else in fuel tanks? They added a new large xenon container. They were going to get rid of this one. They were going to repurpose it to a xenon tank. They had enough, and a lot of people were complaining about that, got really upset as far as that went. So they kept this the same, and they just made a new xenon tank. So a lot of folks were real pleased with that. Let's see, engines, all about the same, although they did add a new solid fuel booster, the Flea. Oh, and they gave all the engines a lot of different parts like their own name. So you had the mainsail engine, the skipper engine, but some of them didn't have like a nickname. So this is the Twitch, the Spark, the Thumper, that's the Rapier, the Dawn, Ion engine, the Weasley jet engine, the Whiplash, Rhino, Twin Bore, the Ant and the Spider. You know, I can just keep going on and on. But they added, you know, we had the Poodle engine and the mainsail. So, but they added all those names, which is kind of cool. Command and control, this has been kind of repurposed. So fly-by-the-wire avionics hub. So I don't really know what it does. It's kind of like a SAS for planes, but SAS is for rockets. Planes need more kind of an autopilot type thing. Probably even now more than ever. Structural parts, all pretty much the same. These are decouplers though, the structural pylon. A lot of people don't know that, but they work as decouplers. a lot of new wings and air brakes. So because of the atmosphere, the new atmospheric changes, you will need air brakes. Planes will go pretty fast, pretty quick, and the forces on them can just break them all apart. They have a shuttle tail. They've redone some of the intakes. Oh, and they have protective fairings. They added procedural fairings for rockets. I'll get into that in just a minute. They've also added heat shields. And a heat shield, this picture looks pretty close to like what they had on the Orion. Somebody had a picture as far as the coloring and the tiles and stuff. It works through ablation. Is that a word? It is now. It has resource, the ablator resource, which is basically what burns off as it's entering the atmosphere, because if it keeps coming in, the friction would heat this up and heat it up, and I mean it does, but there's nowhere for that heat to go except for into your spacecraft when it's attached. So what it does is it kind of slowly sloughs off and dissipates a lot of that heat that builds up. So you're covered with your pod. So there's an intake. I was looking for that the other day. But just standard parts, a lot of different wing parts. You know, they have a giant airplane wing and tail fin. Utility, they have, let's see, they've added fuel cells. Fuel cells will provide electricity provided that you have liquid fuel and oxidizer. So as long as it has liquid fuel and oxidizer, if you don't have any batteries or something, but you have a fuel cell, you can generate power. So that's cool. So you have your fuel cell array, and then just a regular fuel cell. They also have the solar arrays. They're designed to be kind of like heat sinks and help get rid of that heat. I don't know if they have it fully balanced yet. I've seen a lot of streamers and a lot of YouTubers kind of having issues with the heating aspect of some parts of the game. You have the ISRU converter. ISRU, it's stands for something. Resources, though, this is what you use to, oh good lord, that's giant. You use this, you have ore in your tank, and this is connected, and then this will convert ore to monopropellant or liquid fuel and oxidizer, or I don't know what all. I haven't gotten into the resources. I've watched a few people using them, and it looks pretty cool, but I haven't done anything with that. But yeah, that thing is giant. We have some new landing gears, the fixed landing gear, and then the steerable wheel for like little Cessna type planes. The standard gear, you have your medium landing gear. It has a really cool animation when it goes, but that's just open and close. And then you have the big landing gear. So these are really neat. Apparently there's a bug where the wheels don't animate. They still work, but they don't animate that well. They did add a radial drogue chute, which is cool. We have always had the large one, but not the little radial one. So that's pretty neat. Solar panels, the difference between the shrouded and the unshrouded ones, because there's these ones that have the casing on them. There was no difference before, so there was no reason to really have them as far as the mass. These ones were heavier and these ones were lighter. Now these ones, when you deploy them, you can't close them back up. They won't fold up. It's once they're deployed, they're deployed. So these would be really good for satellites and probes where once they're doing the job that you sent them to do, that's all they do. So, but you can't retract those. Any other changes here? This is parachutes. Parachute mod. That one's an escape, so everybody can bail out, and that adds parachutes to the craft. So that way the Kerbals themselves have a parachute. Because I always thought, you know, the way the Kerbals design their rockets, you got to give them a little bit of hope. If it's going to blow up, you know, you can jump out, but without a parachute, it's a short trip. So all the sciencey stuff is the same, with the exception of you have 3 different scanners now. So you have your survey scanner, and this will scan the planet, but you have to be in a polar orbit. So, and this will show you where the resources are. The narrow band you put on some piece of equipment. When you scan the planet and you see where your concentration looks the greatest, then you bring your narrow band down, and that further helps zero in. It also gives you some terrain data, and you can really customize that. I'll go into that probably on my career when I get that far. I suppose I could build a rocket with the scanner on it, or just take one of the stock rockets. And then the surface scanner, you can put this on a rover, and that gets you even closer. And when used while landed on a planet or moon, the sample data gathered can be used to increase the accuracy of the orbital survey scanner. So you have your different scanners and stuff. So let's do this. Let me load. Oh, this is new as well. When you build a craft, you have a craft, it puts a little screenshot right there. So you're not like, okay, I named it this, but what is it supposed to be? It'll show you a picture of the craft. So here, let's load this. Oh, that's perfect. That's excellent. But let's do this. No, you stay there. You go down there. And where was that? Structural aerodynamics. This is a fairing. So we'll pop that on, and then look at this. You stretch it out a little bit, and then you can bring it up, and then you can click on it. Right? Click. What are you doing? Click. Left mountain button. Yeah, place it. There it goes. Oh no. So there, I got it working now. So you can make it, you know, you can make it flat and then go up, or you can. That's your left mouse button, and then your right mouse button. You can bring it down until you can adjust it. So we can bring it out to there, and it kind of snaps right there in the middle. So if you want to keep it looking straight, that's a good way to keep it. So let's see. Let me rebuild this in a sec. I'm going to take that antenna off and put, where'd that big scanner go? Put that scanner on the top. It's kind of oddball looking. It has a probe core. Does it have any batteries? It has solar panels. I wonder if I should put batteries. Well, yeah, I can put some batteries. Oh yeah, there's also, where the heck they go? Aerodynamic. No. They're, where are they? Come on, I know you're in here. Right here, service bays. You could put a service bay. Let's move that out of the way. If you want batteries, you can place them inside the service bays. You don't have stuff sticking all over in the outside of something. And this will protect it from the aerodynamic forces. So that's pretty cool, but I don't think I need one of those. I'm gonna put there. I'll put a couple of those there. Hopefully that doesn't mess up the weight of the rocket. They haven't updated. It's funny, they didn't update their rockets in their release because the Kerbal X, you can get it into orbit, but it doesn't have a heat shield. So good luck getting them back. So that's what I should have done, but I didn't know how tall this was going to be. But let's build the fairing. We'll bring it out to there. We'll make it kind of big. Well, do we need to be that big? Maybe not. Maybe there. Why is that not working? There it goes. Why is this clicking all weird? Come on! There. Put it up there. And then we can close the point, and boom! Now this is really cool. So you put a fairing on your satellite. You want to go back and fix it. It goes all explodey. So you can still grab parts, move parts, change parts, do whatever you need to do to get it. But then, when you're done, that's what your rocket looks like. That's pretty cool. So that's a launch kit. I'll change it to the Z-Map satellite one. Okay, another thing that they added, this is Kerbal Alarm Clock. This is a mod, so they didn't add that. But right next to it is the engineer's report. And if you look at this, it says there's nothing concerning about this vessel. Okay, so if I were to take that engine off, unused liquid fuel resources. If you check that before you launch, it will tell you, if there's a problem with your rocket that's going to make it have issues. There's no batteries on this rocket, or you run out of electric charge or something like that. So it's a good idea to always click on that and see. It'll also tell you how many parts you have, your rocket's mass, your height, your width, your length, all that stuff. And then it'll show these little tabs over here about severity. So yeah, but let's click back on that. That'll go away. So we'll save that and let's launch it and see if I can even get this into space with the new arrow. So, like I said, you no longer want to launch up, fly up for 10,000 meters, and then do your turn. My SAS is on, my throttle's full blast, and launch. You want to do a gravity turn right away, just about 4 or 5 degrees. You want to try and stay on that prograde marker, and the rocket will curve kind of naturally with the air. Okay, hopefully I'm not going too fast for the air right now. You can see we're hitting some Mach effects. Get ready to... Oh, I had the fairings in that. This is going to be bad. Oh, I had the fairings in the launch deal. So here we'll go a little bit further. You don't want to go too far. There, we'll keep it on stability assist. Let's see if we can get our prograde a little bit more. You don't want to go too far from that, or you can really start to wobble. Oh, I should be going on a polar orbit. Oh, that's no good. See if I can fix this. I can fix it, I can fix it. Let's see where we're at. So we're still moving kind of that direction. So let's see if I can bring that over a little bit more. That's probably pretty close. And hopefully we're not too high. So you can warp to your apoapsis. Oh wow, that's neat. That's new. You can also click on your line there, your orbit line, and you can just warp to there. But let's see. Why is this going so crazy? Why are you drooping down and you're not giving me... Does this rocket have absolutely no torque? Or what? Apparently it kind of doesn't. So this might be just like a gimbaling engine here. So let's see if I can do this. So I used to put my engines in my stages and thought it was kind of goofy that people didn't. But now if you do that, you can blow up your engine if the stage is too close when that engine lights. So here we go. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. So where is the sun? I have the Planet Shine mod going. So like, you know, things can still be lit up. When you're away from the sun. So it's right above us. So I think that's good. I think we're at the right altitude. So these textures look a little washed out. I wonder if that's... I got like an ambient mod. All my mods are visual or atmospheric. right now, with the exception of the Kerbal alarm clock. I don't have Kerbal Engineer. I'm not like one of the people that's crazy about knowing Delta V and stuff. I always over-engineer. That's the fun of it. Just kind of guess and see if it works. So, but while we're up, we can deploy our scanner. Here, let's see if we can. Can we maneuver? No, we have no maneuvering at all. We can with this because it does gimbal. Now it's just going to spin all around. So anyways, we can right click on that and perform an orbital survey. 60 kilometers in 1500. A stable polar orbit. That's 209. Oh. And what is it supposed to be? Oh, we're way high. So here, let's go there and warp there. I don't know why our periapsis keeps moving. So our time warp's complete. Nope, not prograde. Retro. Retro. So there's 108 and 117. So now let's see if I can do a scan. Am I not orbital enough? Apparently not. So we should point it west, right? How about now? Starting transmission. So it sends out my antenna. You got to have an antenna uploading the data. It happens really quick. If you saw any of my ScanSat videos, those didn't take. Those took a long time. You had to go around the planet many times. I can't rotate this at all though. So it's getting some electric charge. Let's just speed it up. There we go. Getting there. This turning into a longer video than I thought. Almost. Here, get some electric charge. There you go. 100% done. So there you go. So you see the overlay on Kerbal. You can also see it on the map. This shows your resources. And then there was another button down here. Oh, maybe I don't have the right stuff. But you can toggle the overlay. You can change the color, heat map. You can set your cutoff percentage. Let's see, blue, green. What does that button do? I saw some people on streams that had buttons over here that they were clicking, but mine doesn't have that. I don't know why. So you could toggle your overlay. Put that back on. So there we go. We're supposed to have different stuff on it. So, but maybe I'm not doing it right, or I don't have the right stuff on. But yeah, that shows your resources. And you can, it's probably the other scanners or something that can give you an idea on where to land and where you can mine for ore. There it is. So I'm clicked on Kerbal now. Okay, and I have my ore map, and I can click here, and they have it set up. It's basically surface resources, but they have it set up so modders can do all kinds of stuff. And you can change your color. You change your style, so you can go from the bars to the dots to kind of cloudy. So, and then you can, let's see, resource, fraction. You can set your cutoffs, your color. There's your heat map there. So you got kind of a red area here. So anything that has like 60% says kind of green there. So yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know if I finished explaining the feature. No, go back to the ship. Backspace. There we go. The feature with the satellite is when ScanSat, you just speed it up, you just warp it. So they just save you the trouble. I mean, you're going to come up here, you're going to sit up here, and you're going to warp, and you're going to stare at it until you get it anyway, for the most part. So, but resource scanning, fairings, which I did wrong, but I still got this in space. Just a number of things that are really cool with this. So yeah, this ran kind of long. Hopefully it's not too long. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll do some kind of, I wonder if that's that ground mod that's messing with that, the way that looks. Hang on. Oh. No, go back. Turn off the overlay. So, because it's, yeah, that's what the planet normally looks like, but it's got kind of a glowy aspect to it, which is that distance draw type thing. So, yeah, like I said, zoom way out. There we go. That gets all wonky there, doesn't it? Hope you enjoyed it. I will start a career mode and take you through it. Um, and we'll see what happens from there. Hopefully I can get all the way up to resource mining and everything. But again, thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time. Bye.